There is a light shining on the west side of San Antonio.
I'm smart enough to surround myself with very smart people, and then God's blessed me with being smart enough to listen to them and follow what they tell me. That's all I do. I mean, I get to be the face of Twang, so to speak, but it's not me. I mean, you know, my children are all actively involved here. You know, Roger Patrick graduated from Holy Cross. My daughter wanted to be in the first class of girls that went to Holy Cross. It didn't happen in her time. My younger son started there but finished in public school. And that's okay, you know, because everybody has their own niche in this world. But, you know, it's just important to me because even my children are extensions of me. And I believe that the same moral beliefs that I have and the Christian beliefs that I have carry over not only to my family, to my Holy Cross family, you know, to the people that I work with on a day-to-day basis. I firmly believe it's God, family, and friends in that order, you know, and I believe that that's what Holy Cross taught me. You know, God, family, and friends. If you keep that order each and every day and you understand that, you know, God will do things in His time, on His schedule, and you just learn to accept them, then you're going to live a pretty good life.
Holy Cross is wherever we go.
Roger Thomas Treviño is an entrepreneur who graduated from Holy Cross High School in 1968. He grew up in the city of San Antonio's South Side and attended St. Henry's for his early education. When a priest came to recruit St. Henry's students for either the seminary or Holy Cross, he chose Holy Cross. Roger is father to a second generation of Holy Cross graduates, his sons, Patrick and Roger Jr. His son Jacob also attended Holy Cross. While in school, Roger was in charge of organizing the social dances sponsored by Holy Cross. Later, he co-founded one of the well-known traditions that has grown over the years, the annual Holy Cross Alumni Softball Tournament. Roger learned his strong work ethic from his father, and he began working with his dad at the early age of 11. After Holy Cross, Roger attended San Antonio College while working at Bexar County's Juvenile Detention Center. On the weekends, he continued to work for his father until age 23. Roger was the first from his family to graduate with a bachelor's degree, which he received from Texas State University in San Marcos, Texas. As a businessman, Roger Treviño is the founder of Twang Partners, which is a privately held San Antonio-based company dedicated to making the most fabulous flavored salts and sugars in the world.
Did I ever dream that I was going to be a businessman? Absolutely not. But my whole life was around business, and my aunts and uncles and my dad, and you know, so business was all around me. You know, my focus was on my dad wanting me to get my college education. You know, being part of law enforcement was my life for a long time. You know, from the different aspects of law enforcement that I had the opportunity to work in. You know, and in the judicial system that I had an opportunity to work in, and to be associated with so many great people over the years that have Holy Cross ties directly as graduates, indirectly as friends, and people who just know about what we produce. I think that's it's God's blessing. You know, for the parents and the families to work that hard to give their kid that competitive advantage is unfathomable in this day and age. There's a lot of different aspects to how Twang has grown over the years, but primarily it started in my garage, literally in my garage. It literally started with my wife and my kids packing individual boxes just like these. When I first bought this facility, this was a disaster. The people who were here before didn't take care of it, and it was just a golden opportunity, and I was able to see beyond what it looked like. So all in all, I mean, the crew we had downtown, we had 3 different warehouses in 3 different locations, and now having it consolidated under one roof has been a real blessing. It's always fun because playing around with stuff is a lot of fun. And I can tell you right now, I guess I got that curiosity at my sophomore year at Holy Cross with Brother Renee, who taught me biology. Oh, Brother Renee, conversation, we just started talking about Brother Renee and how he touched all 20 of us. Oh. It was amazing because none of us had a damn thing. You know, we didn't have money, we didn't have anything other than a lot of inspiration that the brothers gave us, because we were loaded with brothers back then. I mean, we had brothers. I mean, in my freshman year, we had enough brothers there that they would put on the football gear and scrimmage the varsity football team. They would literally do that. And you had guys that cared for us, you know. We were a bunch of Mexicanos that nobody really cared about, you know. I mean, we had our families, but our families weren't educated. They were just trying to do what was best, you know, for their children. So it was really cool. And Renee touched so many people. You know, he was comical. He was your friend. He was your worst enemy. He was your nightmare if you didn't do your work, you know. But he was always there. He was the most, you know, a consistent factor in our lives. So I know that I struggled through my high school biology that I took with Brother Renee. And when I got to college, the best grades I made in college were biology. I think it's our responsibility as alumni and friends to step out there and help think through the future with Holy Cross, because I don't think anything's getting easier in this world. I think it's getting harder, and I believe that cyclically, you know, probably our financial times are going to become more challenging than what they are and what we've already experienced. And I hope I'm dead wrong, but if I'm not, then we have to be pliable enough to be able to adapt to the situations to make a place like Holy Cross continue down the road. I think that's what's important. To the kids at Holy Cross, you're not going to realize it today or tomorrow, but one day, maybe 10 or 15 years from now, you're going to take a step back, take a breath, you know, and you're going to realize what your parents have done for you, what you know, Holy Cross meant in your life, and how it helped shape your whole future. Holy Cross has not been the only impactful place that I've ever lived with in my life, you know, but I think stewardship is important. You know, you give back from those who give you, and you know, there may be some thinking that, well, I paid my tuition and there I'm done, you know, but in reality we get far more than what the education, the diploma gives us. So I think just from being a good steward of what the good Lord gives us is a very important thing. And we can give back in many different ways: time, talent, and ideas. And of course, money never hurts. You know, that's what drives the train. So I think that stewardship and understanding, you know, where you came from, the roots that you came from, and passing it forward. You know, if you can pass it forward to a kid that's just coming along, and like, it's kind of like a mentor. They may or may not ever realize it today or tomorrow or the next day, but in maybe 10 or 15 years, you know, there's going to be an opportunity for that kid to say, hey, you know, that old guy that talked to us that day, he really lit a fire under me, or whatever it may be. You know, the person who bought the uniforms, or whatever, you know, helped in the building fund, or whatever the opportunity for stewardship is. You know, you just never know how you're going to affect the next generation. And it could be as simple as a kind word of encouragement, you know, but hopefully it'll be with a few dollars.
The light in the west side, Holy Cross of San Antonio, shining for the rest of the world.